Okay, I'm ready for your article that you've got coming our way. I'm ready to go.
Well, this particular article is called 8 Tough-Minded Traits That Assure Success.
Did you say ain't?
Traits.
Okay.
Tough-minded traits.
8
that
traits
assure success. So
okay.
It's not necessarily business, but it's mostly business.
Who wrote it? Is it a 10-year-old or is it somebody we trust?
I can't tell how old she is.
Okay.
But it's Sherry Campbell, who's a contributor and also a psychologist, Joe. Author and speaker. This was in Entrepreneur Magazine.
When she hears that we are critiquing her article, I am positive we're going to have another letter to write back to somebody. Yeah. So get ready.
She's going to be the one writing
Larry,
the
if you're listening, we're going to need your skills again. We got to correct another problem. Get ready to happen.
Start writing the response.
Okay. I'm ready.
Number 1, you'll like this. History is your best teacher. And it's talking about learning from mistakes, which sometimes rankles me a little bit because I understand you need to learn from mistakes, but try to avoid them if you can, But nevertheless, history is your best teacher is trait number 1. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, the bottom line is the best way to do that is to have a mentor. If you have a mentor, they're going to help you see some of the problems, in fact, that you probably don't even know exist before you get there. So that's my opinion on that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's okay to plan on learn from mistakes, but if you can get some help, do it.
Yes.
Number 2, success is within your control.
That's interesting because people talk about luck all the time. Here's the reality. You position yourself so that when things go well, you are prepared to take advantage of them. You also position yourself if things go badly, you can correct whatever mistake that may be. And that's what I think that means.
That is kind of a small business owner thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Success is within your control, because if you don't believe that, you're not going to succeed.
You've got to be positive about it, and you've got to prepare yourself to do that. So, I'm good with it. So far, I'm liking this woman.
I think you're going to like this, too. Prioritize well.
Well, you're a master at that. I mean, you do a really good job of prioritizing things. You help clients do that. Yeah, that's kind of an easy one. I agree with that.
The trouble is you got too many things to do. So you better figure out what's the most important and do those first.
I've said this many times. What I do is I do it in the evening. I've got a list by my bed. I make a notation of the things I want to do tomorrow morning. And when I get up, that's what I do.
Yeah, you do a better job of that than I do. But nevertheless, prioritize well is trait number 3.
I'm liking this woman so far.
Tough-minded traits that assure success. Number 4, this is interesting, support the success of others.
Oh, absolutely. I've said it 172,000 times. Here's the bottom line. You want to get something out of life, help others get what they want. That is the way you succeed in life. And matter of fact, it's actually the foundation of small business. You better have a product and service that's helping somebody get what they want. So absolutely, that's 101. That's small business 101.
And it's behind some of the key marketing strategies, too. In other words, networking, referral partners, all this. If you're not out after the other person's success, you're only after your own, never going to be successful.
Yep.
Never going to be successful at it. Okay, number 5 is speak the language of success.
I don't know what that means, but I do know this. I make fun of you all the time because I tell you be positive. We talked about this before the show started. I'm the kind of guy that says, why not, when I look at a problem or an answer to a question. You're the kind of guy that says, why should I? And an entrepreneur really does...
I don't totally agree with that, of course, but go ahead.
Okay, you never agree with me. But the point is, you really do have to look at it from a positive standpoint, and you have to look at it that you're going to have to take a calculated risk. So it's that view that's got to stay positive. That is what I think she's talking about, and I absolutely agree with her.
Yeah, she's talking about really being tough-minded. Don't take the time to say poor me and whine and martyrdom and all that kind of crap, because we know if you're running your own business, you aren't going to make it if that's the way you take it. I like this one. Number 6 is they compete with themselves.
That's so true, because you get up in the morning and the only measurements you really have are the things you did yesterday. So you have to be the one that decides what they're going to do. When we set the performers together and stuff like that, we're really setting them against ourselves. And that's hard to do, because last year you did everything you knew how to do to increase sales to the biggest point that they've been. So now this year, what are you going to do? So it's not easy to do.
Yeah, this one really hit home with me, because I never thought about it before. I honestly don't ever worry about competing with anybody else. I just try to get better, learn and do a better job of what I do. I honestly never think that much about competing with others. So that's
but if you think about it, you do think about what you did last year.
Absolutely.
Or last
no,
week.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I don't feel like I'm competing against somebody else. It's all making myself better and getting better. And the last one, interesting one, revisit benchmarks.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to that one. And, we teach our clients to look at benchmarks, look at what the national average are, local averages are for your industry, whether it's profit margins and whether it's payroll, occupancy costs, whatever those are. Keep looking at them and keep going back and discerning, in fact, whether you can check those or tweak those. Because in my world, when you get ready to sell your business, those benchmarks are the first thing that someone's going to compare you to before they make an offer.
Yeah, the reason that trade's successful in my mind is that I think when I'm working with business owner clients, they don't like putting stakes in the sand because they feel like they can't move them. The point is, it's easier to figure out what to do if you've got stakes in the sand and all you got to do is move the stakes. It's a lot tougher to figure out where you put the stakes in the first place. So having benchmarks, but not afraid to change them if you need to, is much better than being fearful of planning and having benchmarks. Now, if anybody's counting, I said that was the last one. That was only number 7. So
you're being trickery. So I thought I was done. My mind started relaxing, and now you got one more.
Okay, well, this is an easy one.
Okay.
We're talking about the 8 tough-minded traits that assure success, and number 8 is grateful.
Grateful.
The tough-minded take nothing for granted.
Well, that's interesting because I used to tell people years ago that I built a really large, I sound like Donald Trump, I built a really large, huge, I tell you, huge business. Very successful. It was the largest closed market environment restaurant concept in the Southeast, and I don't think I could do that again in this environment. So there are a lot of businesses out there that we small business people have grown to a level that we probably could not duplicate because the circumstances would not be the same to do that. And I do think in most cases we small business people realize that and are grateful that we're able to get to